I'm Trish. Welcome to Trish Talks. So today I'm going to be making Snickerdoodles. Snickerdoodles are a wonderful, light cookie with a crunchy outside but nice and soft on the inside. And they're so easy to make. It may look like a lot of ingredients, but it actually is pretty easy to do. And they take about roughly between 9 to 11 minutes. If you're using one oven, your oven's going to get hotter as it goes, so it may not need to take as long. Anyway, so what we're going to do, and the most important thing to do, is before you begin making cookies, they usually require softened butter, which takes at least an hour or so, if not longer, depending on the temperature of your house, to do. So it's really important to take the butter out, just take it out, leave it out on the countertop, and when you're ready to start baking, give yourself like an hour to an hour and a half. And so if you squeeze here, you see you can make an indentation, but it's not like melted and falling apart. So this has probably been out for about I'd say an hour and a half. So this is ready to go. You don't want it too melted, and you don't want it where it's not soft enough. Now, my channel is new, so please bear with me. I am still learning how to edit, etc. And I will do my best to talk slowly. There's not a lot of ingredients, but as soon as I figure out how to put the ingredients in on the comments, I will. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with our dry ingredients first, okay? And what I'm starting with is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm using organic flour. You can use any kind of flour that you want, as long as it's like just all-purpose, okay? So there's 2 cups of flour. And with the dry ingredients, these are the ingredients that we're going to wind up adding into our wet mixture, okay? And the reason why that I like to have this ready to go is because as soon as, combining the ingredients together that we have to put together really doesn't take that long. And I like to have this ready to go so that I can just mix it together. So I'm going to put this here for a second. So my next item is, so we have got 2 cups of flour, and now we're going to do 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And so this is cream of tartar. Now I'm running out of one, so I had to open another. So we're doing 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar. And where is my teaspoon? Here it is. Okay. I don't even know if I can get 1 teaspoon in here, but I'm going to say. Okay, so that's 1. And then I'm just going to use whatever I have left here as the rest. Oh, I might make it. Okay, and there's, that's about 2 teaspoons. Okay, the next ingredient is a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And I just use regular salt. Now I don't pour things directly over, and I apologize, you probably can't see this, but I'm not doing anything with it yet. I've just put the cream of tartar on top of the flour, and so I'm just going to put the salt. Now, I never just do this right over anything because, stuff can spill out and you've got more than what you need. So I'm just going to, and you always level off the top of your spoon that you're using. Okay, so then I'm just going to put salt here. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do, I'm just going to mix this together. So with a whisk, mix your dry ingredients together. Now, the recipe also calls for 1 teaspoon of baking soda. So baking soda here. Open this up. I'm just going to rinse this off. So I'm not getting cream of tartar in my baking soda. Now this can be chunky, so the thing that I do is that I kind of just use the box to like level off, okay? And put that in there. This is good for 30 days in your refrigerator, so it's good once you open this, once you open a box up rather. They do have bottles also. Once you open this up, you should take advantage of using it. If you wind up not using it within the 30 days, then what I do is I just take off the top and I use it to like help deodorize the refrigerator. So you can always use this. And there's so many uses for baking soda. Okay, so again, I'm just gonna whisk the dry ingredients together. You just few spins. So just to go over that, it's 2 cups of flour, 2 teaspoons of cream of tartar, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 cup of salt. And that's the dry ingredients, okay? So we're gonna put that over here. Okay. Next, we're gonna get our wet ingredients going. The reason why I am taking out a piece of parchment paper is because I'm gonna use this for my eggs. Okay, so we've got 2 sticks of room temperature butter. So can you see how it's soft? It's easily blendable. Okay. And I am using organic butter. Of course, you can use regular butter. And this is unsalted butter. Okay, you don't use salted because we're already salting in our dry ingredients, and then it's gonna be way too salty. So you will not like your cookies at all. Okay, so we're going to take this, and then we have about 1.5 cups of sugar. Now my sugar looks a little bit on the dark side, and that's because it's organic sugar. And for some reason, it tends to. Okay, so we've got 1 cup. And then we've got half. Okay. And I'm just getting out my spatula. Place out your mixer. Make sure that your mixer's locked so that you can't, open this up. I'm gonna make sure that you can see this, okay? And I'm literally looking for my spatula that I know I put somewhere. And of course can't locate it. All right, I'll just use the big one right now. Okay. So let's put this on blend. We're gonna blend it together. I first do it on a slow, so that this way it just kind of gets acclimated. And then kind of put it on medium. You're gonna let this spin and blend together. Now you'll know when this is done because of the texture. This roughly takes about, about 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes. So in the meantime, I'm gonna get my eggs ready. So I just use like a bowl or a cup to put my eggs in because I am not always perfect with eggshells. So what I like to do is kind of just use this and make sure there's no eggshells in it. And I put it over parchment paper because I can just easily throw away the eggs and not make a mess. Now can you see how this is creaming together? So I'm going to let that mix for about another minute, just to wash my hands. And, I only found one other recipe for Snickerdoodles, which is called chocolate Snickerdoodles. And I did try it because I am a chocoholic and I do love it. But I wasn't a fan of it. I felt like that the cream of tartar and the chocolate was not a good match. and I didn't like them. But other than that, this is how I always make snickerdoodles, and you can decorate them any way you want. All right, so now I'm going to stop this for a moment. Can you see that it is blended together? And I'm just going to scrape down the sides with my spatula. Okay. Let me just lift this up so that you can see properly. Hope you can see. Okay, so I'm just going to let this blend on high. Another few seconds here, maybe 30 seconds. Okay, now I'm going to lower this, and I am going to put in 2 large eggs. I'm going to put in one at a time, and I'm going to let that do its thing for about 30 seconds. And again, you want to scrape down the sides. So I'm just going to scrape down the sides before I add the second. I think it's always great to make cookies homemade, because you know the ingredients you're putting in, and you're not paying like, you know, $40 per pound. Okay, so I added the second egg. I'm just going to clean up my parchment paper here, and I do not have to clean anything else, which I love. I love parchment paper. All right, I'm going to put this on a little bit of a high spin, and I'm just going to scrape down the sides. What I love about this spatula is it's a spoon, scooping spatula. It's great. Rocky agrees. Okay, so let that finish for a few seconds longer. Okay, now we're going to put this on low, because now we're ready for our dry ingredients. Okay, so I'm going to slowly take my whisk and kind of let that blend slowly. I will have to scrape down the sides. This batch does make a good amount of snickerdoodles. I want to say, I know it's at least three large cookie sheets of snickerdoodles. I never count because for some reason I never have the exact amount, which means I'm probably making the wrong size, but I don't care. Once you get the feel of to know when the snickerdoodles are ready, because when you bake them, they're going to look like they're not done. And I'll show you that. They're going to look like that there's still need time to cook, but they are done. And then as they cool off, they crisp, leaving the center to kind of be just nice and moist with that little bit of a bite from the cream of tartar. So again, I'm still going to keep this on slow mode. If I put this on faster, then my flour is going to go everywhere. I do have the attachment for the mixer, a splash guard, but I still find that it's just easier to just do it this way and just do it slow. And we're almost done here. And also what I like about these bowls, these are KitchenAid, they kind of have a little of a lip here, so that it makes it easy. And I'm just going to put the rest in. And I am just going to scrape down the sides before I put this on a little bit faster. And you know what's great also about snickerdoodles is that if you have kids and you roll these, it's really fun because they're rolling them in sugar. So I'm just going to put this on high just for, again, just so I kind of see that it's like blended well together. And Then we're going to make our sugar roll. Okay. So these are done. And you can see the dough is, the dough is pretty tough. It's not a loose type of dough, and you want to scrape down all your sides here so that you don't lose any snickerdoodle. You want to have as much dough as possible. Every time I'm talking, Rocky's making all this noise. He's not allowed to have snickerdoodles, but given the chance, I'm sure that he would take quite advantage of that. Okay, so I got most of this off. I'm only using a glove just because I don't want to have to wash my hands again. Okay. So again, I'm just going to scrape down the sides. Okay. So now we're going to get our sugar mixture together. Okay. Let me just back this up a little bit. Okay. Now the recipe, there's different variations of the recipe, okay? I personally like more sugar. I don't really like cinnamon that much, but I do like to have a little bit of cinnamon in these. So depending on the situation of, you know, whether or not you like cinnamon, then by all means, like, add more cinnamon sugar, okay? All right, so I am going to take, I really don't measure this, to be honest with you, but I'm going to take sugar. Just getting the sugar, sorry. And, you know, I'm just filling the dish. You know, we do have to roll a lot, so, I don't know, this is, I think it says a fourth of a cup, so I'll definitely need more than that, most likely. I'm just going to add a little bit more. And now I'm going to add my cinnamon sugar. And for me, because again, I don't like cinnamon that much, I'm just sprinkling my cinnamon sugar in here. And that's it. But again, if you like it, then I would at least put 2 teaspoons for sure of the cinnamon sugar. Okay, so now we're going to mix this together. All right. Let me move these things out of the way. I'm going to bring over my tray. Okay, I'm using a 2-scoop cookie scooper. These are the best. They come in, I got this set in 3 sizes, and it is just the best thing on earth. Makes it so easy. So you kind of just, you know, grab, and I also use these for meatballs. These are great for mini meatballs, and then I also use the bigger one for meatballs so I don't have to like roll it in my hands. Anyway, okay, so, and then I kind of just use the bowl to flatten it out. I'm going to scoop it out into my hand, roll, and I use my hands. You can use a spoon, but, you know, and coat this with the sugar, and we're going to put it on our plate. Now, on our parchment paper. You're going to want to give a definite 2 inches in between of these. Okay, so, because they do spread out. And a good thing about the cookie scooper also is that it makes them really uniform. So, you know, kids love to like make messes and put these, roll these in the sugar, etc. These are also great to decorate. So you can put some icing on top if you want and decorate them for like whatever holiday you're using. Snickerdoodles is part of my Christmas cookies that I make, but everybody loves them so much that I just learned to just, you know, make them all year long. And you know, this is very relaxing. This is a fun cookie to make. It's not stressful. You know, it has dry ingredients, wet ingredients, you know, kind of like most cookies do. And you know, it's already in a ball from this. And now again, if you don't have one of these, then, you know, just use a spoon and then same difference, just roll it and then put it in the sugar. You can see the mess I make with the sugar. Might be easier to use a bigger bowl, but I like my bowl, so I don't care about making the mess. I've got to clean up anyway. We're almost done with this. And I'm just going to use one tray for now for this, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like before they come out and after they come out, because like I said, they're going to look like they're not done. You see, I'm taking off the extra because I wanted them to be uniformal, especially when they cook. So I'm kind of just keeping them the same size. Okay, so here's my tray. As you can see, I kind of have them spread apart, and I'm going to put them in the oven at 350 degrees, and I'm going to cook them about 11 minutes. The first batch takes definitely about 11 minutes, sometimes 12. You really have to eye it depending on your oven. Again, I will show you what they look like for when they're ready to take out. One of the most important aspects that you can see is that if the bottoms are browning, then they're ready, despite what the top looks like. Okay, all right. We'll be back as soon as they come out of the oven. So I'm just going to use my spatula and kind of just, you see, as they cool and they crisp, they come right apart. So, and I'm just going to show you the bottom. So can you see that the bottom is a crispy brown? That's how you know that they're done. And as they cool off, they start to crisp. So you don't even have to do this piece now. You can just wait. But I like to kind of do this while I'm waiting for the other batches of cookies to come out. So again, you can see how easy they are. Just, you know, move them on the lines that they're on. And you can, once these cool off, you can decorate them. You can put icing on top if you want, and decorate them for any holiday also. They are delicious. They are light, airy, and crispy. Again, they're still cooling off, so they're a bit on the soft side. And I hope you enjoy. Hope to see you in the next show.